So let's bring on that hero of heroes, that Sarian sanitizer, that space-age swashbuckler, the man you know and love, Roger Wilco! So, Roger Wilco, hero of Xenon, how goes it?
Well, I just flew in from Vega 9, and boy are my arms tired.
Oh, Roger. So, tell us, how did you manage to defeat all of those nasty Sarians?
Those Sarians were a piece of cake. I had no problem cleaning their clocks. Whoever planned to steal the star generator didn't know who they were messing with.
Whoa, that's some pretty tough talk there, eh? What do you think, Paul?
Yep. Pretty tough talk.
Don't you worry about retribution, Roger?
Revenge? Nah. I hear their leader is a real hoser. Some guy named Overhaul or U-Haul. Something stupid like that. In fact, he's probably cowering in some deep dark cave somewhere. Anyway, let me tell you about the time I wrestled this spider droid.
How dare this puny, insignificant life form insult my superior intellect? I'll teach him to make monkeys out of my men. Get me, Wilco. I'll not stand to be made a fool in front of the whole universe. I'll squash him like a Velcron fly. Can't we finish watching Letter Droid first, boss? Don't question me, Banana Breath. I said move! Wilco.
As you will recall in our last chapter, you had just foiled the Sarians' fiendish plot to rule the galaxy by using the star generator as their weapon of destruction. You became a hero by saving countless lives and returning the star generator technology into safe hands. Life was beautiful. But heroes come and go, and people soon forget. Your celebrated herodom slowly fades, leaving you, once again, a janitor. The promotion to head janitor was no consolation, especially since you are the only member of the janitorial staff, nor was the transfer to Orbital Station 4. Sweating like a pork beast in a pressure suit while relocating space debris in zero gravity just wasn't your idea of a good time. Life sucks, again. Orbital Station 4 is one of many orbiting Xenon, your home planet. It is a transfer point for travelers seeking transportation to the various planets in the Airnon system. As we begin this chapter of our story, we find you, Roger Wilco, Ace Janitor, doing what you do best. A beep emanates from your wristwatch. You release your grip on the broom. The broom floats away, never to be used again. That makes the third one this week. Wait till your boss finds out.
Wilco, get in here, on the double. You've got a mess to clean up in the shuttle which just returned. One of the passengers got space sick on the way down. Besides, you should have been gone out there an hour ago. Get a move on.
With that, the image disappears. You are whisked away to the airlock chamber. Stand by for decontamination. You open the only locker for which you have a combination. Phew! Putrid waves of stench waft forth. You can't recall the last cleaning it received. You bravely peer into the locker to find a Kubik's Rube puzzle and your athletic supporter, which you take.
It's about time you got in here, Wilco. Head for the shuttle bay on the double. I'm warning you, you're on your last leg around here, bud. One more screw up, and you're history. Bob, send Roger here directly to the shuttle bay and nowhere else until the job is completed. Do you hear that, Wilco? No napping in closets.
Press the big button marked Shuttle Bay Door. It feels hot and the screen is turning green from the heat. This thing has seen better days. You enter the shuttle and start sniffing around for the mess you must clean. You are surprised to find that the shuttle is not empty. There are two extremely ugly suckers walking toward you.
Hey, what the? Your favorite expletive here.
Your protest is cut short as two interstellar ruffians proceed to thump you unconscious. Everything fades. Time passes. More time passes. A strange dream turns into the realization that you are being shaken and talked to by a voice unfamiliar to you. A dull ache triggers a distant memory of a scuffle in which you were the focal point. Upon awakening from your forced rest, it becomes quite apparent that you aren't in Kansas, Xenon anymore. You find that you are being held upright and under physical restraint from both sides by, you guess, the galactic goons you met on the shuttle. As you try to struggle free, you notice that your hands are tied behind your back. As your eyes dial into focus, you make out an oddly disfigured being seated before you. He is a sagging mass of flesh that appears to have been human at one time. Tubes and wires extend from his body, leading to machines which keep him alive.
Well, did we have a nice nap? I thought we would have to resort to drastic measures to wake you. Oh well. Welcome to my humble fortress, Roger Wilco. The name's Vohaul. Sludge Vohaul. I was the genius behind the star generator when it was in its concept stages. It was to be my ultimate war weapon until some sissy-pants scientist decided it would be better used saving lives rather than destroying them. What a waste of technology. Excuse me if I sound bitter. Anyway, you ruined my Sarian operation. I was going to use the star generator to make Xenon pay for what they did to me. They were going to know my wrath in a big way. You somehow managed to change all that. Oh, I suppose I should have known better than to use those mental midget Sarians. That's not the point, however. You're responsible, and you shall pay. Besides, I have another plan, and you'll not be around to foil it. I have devised a plan so horrible So frightening, so diabolical that no one will be able to stop me. Observe my latest creation. I intend to infest your planet with thousands of these genetically engineered door-to-door life insurance salesmen. I will at last reap sweet revenge from the scientific community that mocked me. My plan was to kill you, but I've had a change of heart. Get it?
He peers down at the hoses protruding from his chest, which are connected to a life support system.
Forgive me. I'm a kidder. I've decided I would get much more enjoyment watching you suffer. My associates will escort you to the wonderful little planet of Labion, where you will perform many painful hours of manual labor in my mines. Be seeing you.
An injection renders you unconscious. Your drugged carcass is loaded onto a shuttle. Upon reviving, you look through the viewing port to see Vohaul's massive asteroid fortress getting smaller. After touching down on a giant landing platform, you are ushered to a hovercraft waiting to transport you to the mining site. Utter despair sets in.
Uh-oh. Oh, great. Now I suppose we're out of fuel. Way to go, dwarf breath.
Don't blame me. It was your turn to fill up. You're always forgetting to do it. Wait till the master finds out. You're in big trouble.
Hey, don't talk to me that way, you slime bucket. I filled it last time, dipshit.
The argument between the two guards is cut short as gravity reasserts itself. Good thing that guard broke your fall. He doesn't look too happy about it, though. You carefully remove the piece of unstable ordnance and pocket it. Doing so causes the high-pitched beeping to stop.
For some reason, I got this sense of doom right before taking that. What was that?
You search the grotesque body and find a small, thin, magnetic card. It looks like a key card. You seem to recall seeing one somewhere in the past. You startle a small creature. It could be a rabbit, but for its green fur and orange spots. The startled bunny has fallen into the formerly concealed pit. You reach into the deep dark hole and pull out the bunny. How the hell did you do that? That hole is obviously longer than your arm.
I guess realism isn't a concern here in the future.
Suddenly, from somewhere to the east, you hear a twang, followed by a high-pitched shriek. You hear something. It sounds not unlike the hovercraft you wrecked in. was a tense moment. Vohaul's thug failed to spot you and is off to search elsewhere. You quickly untie the little guy. Before disappearing through a tiny hole in the brush, the little pink dude gives you a long look. You seem to have kicked one of the strange little spores. Your kick caused some spores to open and spray a fine powder into the air. As a result, you are paralyzed from head to toe, unable to move a single muscle. Due to paralysis, you are only capable of displacing air. Fortunately, the paralysis wears off and you seem to be back to normal. You take possession of one of the spores, being careful not to mistakenly break it open. You can see a little guy across the clearing picking some sort of berries from a bush. You startle the odd little pink dude, causing him to bolt into the underbrush. You shove the unstable ordnance up a readily available orifice of the dead creature. You're a sick man, Roger. You place the rabbit carcass on the sticky vine plant. Nothing like a good explosion to brighten up your day. And you thought you'd have to navigate the maze like vines. You snag some of the odoriferous red berries. This is an order form you removed from a magazine for a free Labion Terror Beast mating whistle. It's ready to be mailed. You drop the order form into the box. The mailbox hums and buzzes for a while. Then an object of some sort drops into the tray at the base of the box. The machine goes silent. The tray, which is actually a small indentation in the lower part of the machine, is currently bearing what looks to be a whistle. You take the whistle. Obviously. You rub the berries all over your body. Now you smell like a walking ammonia inhalant.
Yuck!
You have stepped into a deeper area of the swamp. You are forced to swim. The swamp monster attacks you with its slimy tentacles. Almost as suddenly, it spits you back out. You distinctly hear the sounds of aquatic gagging and retching. Evidently, you had a bad aftertaste from the berries. You take a deep breath, filling your lungs to near bursting, and head for the depths below. You take the glowing gem. Once again, you wisely take in a load of air and head below. You have gotten out of the deep spot and are back on your soggy feet. This tree is dead, and seems to be free of the slick secretions some of the others generate. You begin to shimmy your way up the snag. Crack! Ugh. Holy log jams, Batman, you almost bit the big one! Yikes, you have been snared. Suspended above the ground, you are unable to move freely. After a while, the cerebral fireworks begin. Capillaries begin to burst under the strain. You pass out. Once again, time passes. And then, some more time passes. While unconscious, you have the strangest of dreams. You hallucinate that your name is Larry. You are wearing something known as a leisure suit, apparently made of fully synthetic materials and proven to generate large amounts of static electricity. While prowling a locale known as the Land of the Lounge Lizards, you spend your time badgering women of the area to participate in bizarre mating rituals such as... Just then, consciousness begins to creep in. Your head begins to clear and you realize that you have been imprisoned. Your captor appears to be that large oaf sitting near the fire.
Hi. My name's Roger. Roger Wilco. There's, obviously been some mistake here. Can you let me out of this cage?
The hunter stands and takes a long look in your direction. His face, though strange in its own right, bears an expression one might see on a freak show patron. Upon impact with the ground, the spore opens and spews its dust into the air. The hunter falls to the ground, paralyzed. Search though you may, there's nothing on the... You reach through the bars and take possession of the key. Don't get cocky. Just because you saved the world once doesn't mean you can't die easily trying stupid things. You're only as good as your latest adventure game puzzle. You slip the key into the lock and give it a turn. The lock snaps open. You know what? It looks creepy enough that you're kind of scared to touch it. Not that you could reach it too easily from in here anyway. You grab the rope. Gripping firmly with your legs, you tie the rope to the middle of the makeshift bridge. You take out the gem and hold it in your palm. The room is illuminated by its glow. You hear a small shriek and the sound of many footsteps moving away from you. The ground below your feet disappears. You tumble down through the darkness. That was a rather spectacular entrance. All systems seem to be intact, though. The dwellers mumble something. Your translator responds.
Follow us, Beanpole.
Got it.
Welcome to our canyon. You look to be from out of town. On behalf of all of us, I would like to thank you for saving our compadre from the hunters. You are welcome to stay in the canyon as long as you like. When you are ready to leave, simply say the word and my assistants will show you the only way out for a being of your size. When you leave, however, we must seal the exit behind you for our own protection. Goodbye, and good luck.
Now, what was that word?
Gameplay note. You'll need to type the password into the translator. Enter will close the translator.
The word.
You realize that the little pink dudes weren't kidding around. It's very dark and cramped in here. Showing some thought far beyond your normal mental prowess, you put the glowing gem into your mouth. Ah, better. Not a great deal better, but better. Good thing you found that gem. Not only does it light your way, but it should come in handy in a later game. opportunity to stand and spare your tender knees. The crystal clear water gives off a gentle glow. In abundance, it is able to light the room. You take the glowing gem from between your aching jaws. You notice it is overly moist as you slip it into your pocket. As you enter another of the mysterious subterranean chambers, you realize that the water is now racing toward a giant whirlpool in the middle of the area. You are caught in the strong current, powerless to alter your course. Your body is sucked down, until finally you are able to resist no more and must yield to the overwhelming force. Geez, that was quite a trip. Peering around, you find yourself back in the open again. You notice some writing on one of the leftmost boulders. The writing says, "Beware, Labion Terra Beast Zone, use extreme caution." You give the whistle a toot. It makes an odd sound. You hear an incredible whirring and grinding sound coming from the north. Suddenly, a Labion terror beast buzzes into the room like a tornado. He looks like he could do as much damage. You chuck the Cubic's Rube puzzle over to the beast. The beast appears interested in your offering. Curiosity gets the better of him and he reaches down for it. He seems quite perplexed by the puzzling plastic polyhedron. You can't do that. You pick up a small rock generated during the Terror Beast's grand entrance. You're so clever, Roger. You created a slingshot. The guard seems to have heard a sound and moves to get a better look. You cleverly use the athletic supporter to sling the rock at the guard. It makes serious contact with the side of his head. We like the way you think. He drops like a lead parakeet. The ripe thud of impact is momentarily sickening. He is perfectly still.
Let's see that again.
This time, let's look at it closer. Hold it there. I want to see the rocket the guard.
Let's do it then. In super slow-mo.
Now that is more like it.
Did you see that, Bloodfly?
Heck yeah.
You're one sick mofo, Clytus.
You're one sick mofo, Blackthorn.
You slide the keycard into the slot, then remove it. As soon as the elevator door closes behind you, the platform on which you rest begins to rise. climb into the shuttle through the rear entrance. The shuttle begins to vibrate as the ascent thrusters ignite. You feel the ship begin to lift off. You're off the planet! Good work, Roger! A tone sounds. A soft, synthesized voice notes that adequate altitude has been achieved. Ascent thrusters are now ineffective. The screens are suddenly splashed with the incredible, horrible image of Sludge Vohaul.
Hello, Roger Wilco. I've been waiting for you. Once again, my subordinates have failed me. Anyway, it looks like you'll be visiting me again soon. Don't bother trying to pilot the vehicle. I have taken control. You will be arriving at my command post shortly. I anxiously await your arrival.
His image is frozen on the screens. The ship changes course as if it had a life of its own. All you can do is hold on. Through the window, you see your apparent destination, Vohaul's asteroid. The massive bay doors meet, jarring the entire vehicle bay. As you step down, the shuttle door slams shut behind you. You are quite surprised not to find several of Vohaul's guards waiting to greet you. You begin to ponder what the twisted scientists might have in store for you. You have the funny feeling you're being watched. You take some of the toilet paper. You never know when it's going to come in handy.
And you're listening to WF.
Hi there, robot. Can you help me?
I'm too depressed.
What have you got to be depressed about? Working in a monolith burger was a goal in life for me.
Life? Don't talk to me about life. Brain the size of a planet, and here I am working in a monolith burger talking to Roger Wilco.
Yowza! Sorry to bother you.
That looks like a weapon.
Today, and I hope you enjoy your 100% synthetically made meal. Here at Monolith Burger,
You grab the small lighter, which is on the table.
synthetic materials in assembling your meal. Please enjoy.
Another access card. You're getting to see a lot of these. You take the glass cutter from the craft table. You never know when you want to cut a piece of glass. You start pressing buttons until one of them finally opens the doors. You grab the wastebasket. Aren't you amazed by how much stuff an adventure game hero can carry? You've just got to know how to pack. It reads 3 banana. That makes no sense to you. Good work. The force field has been powered down.
Hi, I'm Roger Wilco. Why are you locked up?
Ah, Roger. So nice to see you.
The man just looks at you and licks his lips. Aha! You know a janitorial closet when you smell one. Almost at once, you sense an emptiness, a melancholy longing. You begin to feel homesick. It's quite dark in here. You do notice a plunger, however, which you take. Oh no, one of the cells is opening. Who knows what unspeakable horrors wait behind those steel bars? A barrier springs up before you. Another barrier stands in your way. You feel the floor shift below you. It's moving to the left. Using formerly uncharacteristic creativity, you apply the suction cup-like plunger to the smooth metal finish and hang on for dear life. Once a janitor, always a janitor. You release your grip and drop back down. Great idea. You add the paper to the basket. You look for a good place to put your basket down. Every basket needs to be in a good place. While receiving a nice hosing yourself, the basket fire is extinguished. Seconds later, a loud series of pops followed by the smell of fried electronics. The sprinklers sense accomplishment and cease operations. Your fire and subsequent shower seems to have shorted out the burnished bullies. You have just entered Vohaul's secret chamber. The evil one himself is seated before a large console high on a platform in the center of the room. Standing obliviously ready are many of the dreaded salesman clones.
So, Roger Wilco, we meet again. I must say, I'm quite impressed with your resourcefulness and tenacity. I'd love to chat, but I'm busy preparing the last of my salesman clones for their trip to Xenon. Feel free to stick around and observe the downfall of your civilization. Going somewhere?
Give it up, Vohaul. It ends here.
Never. I will not be defeated by a janitor. I have a small surprise for you, Wilco.
You feel a beam of light emitting from the unit in the ceiling. In a matter of seconds, you are broken down into microparticles and extracted from the air. Again, the beam strikes, this time blasting into a glass jar on the console. It is there that you are reconstructed in a miniaturized form.
Well, I'll be darned. My miniaturization beam does work. In the old days, I'd test these things on myself. But, as you may have noticed by my appearance, being my own guinea pig has had its disadvantages. I guess this will keep you out of my way once and for all. You'll make a nice conversation piece.
With that, Vohaul turns away to put finishing touches on Xenon's fate. The newly cut pane of glass falls to the counter. Apparently, Vohaul doesn't notice. You wiggle your slim carcass through the vent. The sign says, "Caution, press button for emergency shutoff." Way to go, Roger! You've just disconnected Vohaul's life support system. He's a goner without it. You can see Vohaul struggling to take his last few breaths.
Not you again. You think you have won, but all you have done is to seal your own fate.
He reaches up and flips a switch before dropping to the floor dead. Type the action you would like to perform, press enter when finished. You are once again reconstituted, this time to the correct size. You notice that the clones are gone. An examination of his repulsively turgid fabric-encased mass reveals nothing other than the tubes which supplied him oxygen. You do notice the letters SHSR written in pen on the back of his left hand. There's a lot of information on the screen. Oh no! The asteroid is in a decaying orbit, and the insurance salesmen are about to be launched.
Maybe the letters from Vohaul's hand will help.
You type in the code SHSR. It worked! The launch of the salesman has been aborted.
Thank you for pushing the self-destruct mechanism. This ship will self-destruct in exactly 5 minutes.
You open the box, and noticing an oxygen mask, remove it and close the box. A section of the glass tubing has fractured from combined stress. The pressurized atmosphere rushes for the relative vacuum of space. Fortunately, wearing the mask protects you from suffocation. No longer needing the mask, you remove it and stow it for later use. There is a self-destruct override button on this control panel. And the sign below it reads, out of order.
Self-destruct will commence in 4 minutes.
The robot has apparently decided that it is permissible for you to be here. You hit the big red button marked Escape. Warning, emergency escape vehicle launch sequence has begun. Phew! You're going to have to stop cutting these escapes so close, Roger. Well, you must feel pretty good right now. You've stopped Vohaul from carrying out his threat of salesman infestation, ultimately destroying the twisted scientist himself. You also managed to save your own skin. And just look at that score. Pretty darned impressive. Suddenly, a warning signal draws your attention to the front oxygen meter. It reads low and dropping fast. This is just great. You knew it was too good to be true. You have maybe 5 minutes of air left. Well, Roger, it was nice knowing you. You slide down the plexiglass cover. You make the split-second decision to enter the sleep chamber. It seals automatically. Soon you are overcome by a pleasant drowsiness. This is certainly better than suffocating. You begin to drift away into a deep sleep. With the satisfaction you have accomplished your task. You've come through in the clutch and you deserve a nice long rest. Now, if someone would just pick you up somewhere along the way. So long, Roger Wilco, and thanks again for saving your people.
One, two, three, four.